back it. We about to get it. Sorry, gotta get live on the intro. And anyway, so y'all, we're here. We're back for another episode. Hope you didn't miss us too much, but here we are back in action. And I just wanna just off rip in this episode say
Uh-oh.
I'm following up on my last time at the Big E, right?
Oh. Oh, yeah, damn it, we do have to talk about that, don't we? Because 'Cause I'm sad. Okay, go ahead.
Never again will
Uh-oh.
I be at the Big E on the last damn day.
Why
It
was
was
it wild?
the absolute worst driving in traffic. There's already traffic in general, no matter what day
Mm,
you go.
yeah.
But this traffic was so sickening. It was terrible. The way people were driving, I don't know if we were even going to make it there alive. Like it was so
Oh.
stressful. And I was a passenger. Like, and my man, he's a good driver. Like he does the damn thing.
Mm.
And I'm not scared of his driving at all. Like there's some people that are like, I don't know about that other person and they're driving. I don't
Right, right.
mind my partner's driving. But the other people out there, like, trying to get into a lane, merging into lanes, they wanna,
Mm,
like, press you and not let you win. Big ass trucks about to, like, crush us in the car, and it's like, our baby's in the car aside from us, and,
yeah.
oh my gosh, yo, the rage, the amount of, like, road rage I had as a passenger was sickening.
Oh
Um,
god.
the amount of time that it took for us to get there was probably 2.5 hours when I've made it there in, like, an hour and change
I was
before,
gonna say
so
from you, it shouldn't be that long at all.
2.5 hours, and the way home was no better.
Oh,
It was just terrible. Like, going on the last
that's
day to the
wild.
Big E is absolutely terrible. There's people everywhere, and then what made it worse was it was raining days before, right? So
Mhm.
days before the last day, it was raining, so everybody and their mom is trying to get there on the last fucking day. There's a
Yeah.
concert with Vanilla Ice and all these other people. So when I tell you it was so bad,
Mm,
because we left probably around, like, 5 in the evening.
mhm.
We're walking out, the lines to almost every vendor were probably at least 30 people deep. So no matter
See,
where you try to get food, you're
yeah,
in line of at least 30 people deep. Like, it
that's
was
wild.
crazy,
'Cause I
and there
also
were
heard
more
it was
people
like that
coming
on
in.
Saturday too, yeah, and, yeah, I don't know, that's just, like, wild. I don't know, 'cause I have been. I've always gone on the last weekend. I don't remember specifically if it was, like, always the last day.
Okay.
And I always thought it was, like, a lot of people, but it doesn't sound like it was anything like it was this time, so maybe because of, like, the floods and stuff that we were having, maybe
Mhm,
that had, like, a bad impact, like, I don't know if I would equate it being the last day
mhm.
to, like, it being so bad. I think that I would
It was
assume
just the
that
weather
other
before
factors
too.
was just yeah, um,
Yeah, it was
and
not good.
yeah, because I also heard that Saturday. And then I know the last time that you went was during the week, and those days are typically, better to go because everyone's gonna
Right,
go on a
yeah.
weekend. So,
Mhm.
I think it's
Yeah.
a number of factors, but that's wild.
Girl, I was just
Did you
I
at
was
least
like,
have fun
"Wow."
though, or was it just too crazy to have fun?
It wasn't a bad experience, like, it was fine, like, we got to spend time with my dad and his fiancée, so it was cool, like,
Mhm.
we actually were following each other up, but then, like, they were following us, they got ahead of us, like, the back and forth,
Mhm.
and then our GPS was like, "Yo, go this way because the traffic is sickening that way," and so they were using a different GPS than us, we lost them, they got lost, but got there before us.
God.
We were like, "Yo, how is this happening?" But no, it
Mm.
was fine. Like we were able to eat some decent food, and instead of that delicious caramel apple cider that I
Oh,
had, and I have a pumpkin one instead, which I'm not one of them pumpkin spice chicks. I'm
no?
just
Oh. I am, I'm guilty.
okay, yeah, no, not for me. But the pumpkin, I think it was like pumpkin caramel maybe instead of like an apple caramel. It was still
Oh,
good.
that's
So, but it did not beat the apple caramel, I'm gonna just say that.
gotcha. Did you get another
But no,
lobster
so it was
roll?
still I ate two this time to make up for the
You
stress I
baller.
had in traffic.
Yeah,
Listen, I had to do what I had to do. I wanted
mhm,
to eat other stuff, but the way it was just so busy, I knew
yeah,
I wasn't going to be able to. So I just spent extra money on another lobster roll and
right.
demolished that. So it wasn't bad, but
Mm.
it was just it was really exhausting, I think, for the most part. It was just super exhausting. So,
Gotcha.
never again. The family agreed, never again will
Oh,
we
no.
go on the last day or the last weekend.
Mm,
And yeah, that's that.
gotcha. Well, I'm sorry that it wasn't the greatest experience and time that you had that second time around, but at least you were able
Mhm.
to still enjoy yourself and go because I am so devastated that I did not make it out there this year. There was just too many things that were getting in the way, and I was all excited and ready to go, and then something happened, and it wasn't in the cards for me this year. So maybe it was
Yeah.
because I was going to go that last day and surprise you and say, "Hey, girl, I'm actually here."
Oh my gosh. I know, because
Supposed
I
to
was
go the day
like,
before. Mm.
yeah, because I said to my man, I was like, this chick didn't even tell me that she didn't go the day before and that we possibly could have been going the same day. I'm like, oh my gosh, the audacity of her ass. But
No, there's
no,
just a lot
yeah,
going on and then, like, the weather and stuff and,
understandable.
just
Understandable.
didn't
So,
work. I get no
hey,
mozzarella sticks this year, I'm sad.
life at its finest, girl. If you were in the, you would have been in line the whole damn time just to get the mozzarella sticks
Totally.
because, again, it was crazy. And I just want to say, there are like, there's like a building that has like all the stuff that they sell in there, like the
Mm,
Better Home and Living building where they have a whole bunch of knickknacks
okay.
they sell.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because there's a little stand where these guys sell sneaker cleaning. So they'll clean your sneakers for you.
Mm.
And they're just like obnoxious. They're annoying because I'm over here many feet away and they're like, hey, and I'm looking around like, who are they talking to? Hey. And I'm like, me? They're like, come over here so I can clean your sneakers. I'm like, that's embarrassing. You're literally yelling across the way that my sneakers are dirty. And I intentionally wore dirty sneakers to the Big E because I'm not going to wear a clean pair of sneakers to a damn fair, you ding dong. I'm like, are you
Oh
kidding me?
god.
You just really just called me out. So that was when I was with my sister. So this time when I went with
Mm,
my other part of my family, right? Because my sister's still my family. When I went with the other
yeah.
part of the family, I said to my man, "We're not walking that way because the sneaker guys are over there and I'm not
Oh,
getting called out." So
yeah.
I'm at the same place because my sister wanted me to find another ring for her because the one she originally got ended up being too big after all that walking and food. You know, your blood pressure and everything goes down, so things don't fit the same. So she
Yeah.
wanted me to find a smaller size.
Okay.
So I'm standing there looking and, I'm just browsing through. And then after we leave that stand, my man says to me, sneaker guys try to get me. And I said, see, that's that
Tried to
bull.
warn you.
That's that bullshit. So when we were about to leave, I was like, guessing you want to go this way, huh? So we don't have to walk past them.
Oh gosh.
But those guys are so obnoxious. So it was just funny that, I said it because that's how I felt in the moment when I went with my
Mm,
sister, that they're obnoxious. But then when I go with my man and the same thing happens to him without me even knowing, it made it even better. So I was just like,
right.
okay, that just solidified the fact that they're obnoxious.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Kinda the same
But
things whenever, I
yeah.
would go to well, like, tripping.
Oh,
But we,
sorry.
are kind of I don't know, so, like, your video's a little off. Um,
Oh, not the usual. Not the usual.
I mean, it hasn't happened in quite some time, so I'm slightly a little lag and delay going on currently. So, for all of these,
Ugh.
viewers, just bear with us momentarily. So, like, trying to, like, see still good, which it is, even though it still seems to be a little
Sorry, I haven't
laggy.
moved much. Yeah, y'all, for those of you who haven't been riding with us from the very beginning, we are unfortunately known for the lovely technical difficulties. And I tend to be the culprit for those situations. So I'm just going to apologize here and now
Yeah,
and leave it at that.
because most of the time, it who has the issues, but throw her completely under the bus because it has been me a few times, and so,
Mm,
life and technology is not always the greatest thing in the world. But, we just kind of push through, and I think we're still kinda, like, hanging on there a little bit to where we don't actually stop what we're doing. So, we're just gonna try to keep on, pushing through this and see
Keep it on.
the remainder of this episode. But we always keep it spicy for you guys, so just continue to bear with us as we go through this
Yes,
little
yes,
glitch.
yes. So our listeners will have a better time than our viewers.
Yes, that should be mainly true for the most part. 'Cause
Yes.
some of the audio has been a little, you know, back there too. But,
Oh boy.
um,
All right.
what
Well,
were
let's give
we,
this a go. Is it okay to give it a shot? What you think? Or should we put in an intermission and reconnect? All right, y'all. So we're back. We had a wee bit of an intermission there, as Cassie would say, third world problems, right?
yeah,
So
we'll just leave it at that.
we are so sorry. Hope you grabbed a snack or something in between, take a little bathroom break, and
No, it
your
wasn't
girls are
so long,
here.
but yeah. We are here, we are back in
Listen.
business, and we shouldn't have any more glitches from here on forward. Fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed. So, anywho, let's just jump into today's topic, which I think is always a fun one, where it's me and reflections. I always enjoy a good reflection. So, knowing what you know today,
Mhm.
what would you change? So, what would you have changed from your past, knowing what you know today?
I feel like that is such a wide, open-ended question,
Mm-hmm.
and it can
Mm-hmm.
just mean so many different things.
So many different things. So I figured let's kind of travel back in time a little bit
My
and just
favorite.
thinking about like your teenage young adult years, right? Because I think that's the time where things start to be um of importance to us
Mhm.
and where we really develop our own opinions and do things for ourselves and also very impressionable too. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's a good time to kind of think about. So looking back in that time frame, teens, early twins, I just made that up, early twins. What would you what are some things you would change?
That's a that's a very hard question to
Mm,
answer,
okay.
for, like, a number of different things. One being, me personally, I'm not really one to really like think about the past and, like, reflection and stuff like that because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like and I might be being dramatic, I don't know, but, like, for me, I just feel like a lot of things in my past were not favorable,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the biggest things is, my dad did get sick at a very early age,
Mm-hmm.
um, for both, himself and mine, and
Right,
so
right.
in my young, like, teens, and when I say young teens, I mean, I guess I was probably, um, gosh, how old was I? I was probably,
Like wasn't it like
like,
14, 15,
something like that, yeah,
15,
because
16?
yeah, it was, like, 2003?
Girl, don't give dates and tell people how old we were. That's 14. Jesus.
Oh, okay.
You
Alright, well,
old.
just, don't listen to that, just, but yeah, so, I mean, I was pretty young, right? So, like,
Mhm.
my whole world was already flipped upside down, and, like, I had to well, I felt like I had to be more adult-like when all of that
Mhm.
occurred because, I had someone that, like, I had to take care of and stuff like that, and, that's something, obviously, I would love to change, but,
Of course.
I don't know, that's not really what you're, like, getting at here,
Nope,
um
what you could have actually changed because that you really couldn't have changed that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess kinda, like, just stemming off from that, because I think it's, like, it's where, like, it all started for me,
Mhm.
is I would just like to have maybe, like, loosened up a little bit more and, like, learned how to have more fun in my life because I feel like at
Mm.
that point, I started taking things, like, very seriously and, maybe a part of me felt, like, guilty to, like, have fun.
Mhm.
And so I don't think that I truly enjoyed my, like, younger years as much.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like it's really, like, carried throughout my life is that, like, I feel like I am a very, like, more serious person as opposed to, being able to just, like, let loose and, like, have fun and, let my hair down, so to speak, and just, like, kinda, like,
Yes.
do whatever. So I mean, I think that that is one thing that I would change if I could.
Mhm.
Although I don't know, knowing who I am, if I would have. But you know, I don't know. I feel like that's just like one thing for
That's
me that like
important.
I would have changed, but um I also don't even know if that's necessarily like what you're trying to get at there
No,
either
it
because
is.
I
It
mean,
is. No, you're
that's
there.
kind of like out
You're
of
all
my
you're
control, but
all the way there. No, and that's something that's super
Mhm.
impactful, right? That's really big because that would have really affected many different areas, which in general, if we were to change anything, it would really affect everything else after that.
Yeah,
Our story is our story, and we are where we are today because of decisions we've made and actions we've, made as well. So
right.
I you're on the spot with what I'm looking for. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
You just hit us off with a more serious and big one than I
But
thought you
see,
were
that's
going to
just
give. So,
who I
but
am.
again, serious tone. So, what were we going to get from you, right? I should have expected what we received,
Yeah.
but no, you did just fine. You did just fine. For myself, I would say, I started babysitting early.
Mhm,
I think if I did better with saving from that. Like
mm,
something I would have done differently is just seriously stash that away.
gotcha.
Um, Especially knowing where things are today. God damn.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's a smart one too, right? Because especially when you're at that age, that's the last thing that you're thinking about.
Right. The very last thing. And then also too, it was tax-free money I was making. I was babysitting.
Yeah, right.
The government wasn't hitting my checks.
No,
So
all under the table. Yeah.
I was balling. So I really would have been, just being able to do better at saving and learning about investing.
Mm,
I think I would have in my younger, even early 20 years,
mhm,
have taken more to that, knowing how it could really impact my life where I am today.
right.
I think that's like huge, 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 huge because it's just like shit, things are crazy today.
Yeah,
And I know it's not all about money, but the way the world is today, yeah, it kind of is all about money today.
right,
It
right.
just you can't really avoid that.
Yeah.
So, but just something as simple as like babysitting, I would have changed that. Even just like making more friends.
Mm,
I think I definitely would have changed that.
well, I'm
Nothing
just
wrong.
gonna
What?
insert there that,
Oh gosh.
I respect that and everything, but, like, you really didn't need to make any more friends
This
because you
bitch.
had me since the day you were born. So, that is all you really needed, and that is enough. But go ahead,
You were born before me, you're right.
carry on.
But I can't stand you. But no, so we're gonna get a little kind of deep on this one.
Mhm.
So I have nothing wrong with my friends that I have. Just a disclaimer, okay?
Yeah,
Like
that
y'all
are
are
not.
fine, obviously, because I still can't shake y'all. Y'all are still here. Can't get rid of you.
Uh-oh.
So nothing wrong there.
Mm,
But for myself, in my adulthood today, I would enjoy having a bigger friend circle because we learn from each other. And I feel like as myself, I think I would be able to be a little more of a well-rounded individual than I am today because I feel like I'm pretty well-rounded for the most part. I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but I'm
yeah.
not going to say I'm like closed-minded or have a like closed perspective.
Mhm.
But I think being also able to connect with friends that look more like me, I've always wanted to have more Black girlfriends. And,
Yeah.
you know, what you go through, what Nat goes through, what Rose goes through, I can't fully connect with what you guys go through
Right.
because it's never been the same. Like, even I remember being younger and going out, and it's like, oh, boys would pick y'all two first,
Mm,
and then it's just like me.
yeah.
And I was like always like last pick. And then it's just like, y'all couldn't really fully relate with that
Right.
because y'all were too busy talking to somebody.
Oh.
I'm over here stuck with the last ugly ones. And it's like, God damn, like,
Oh, no.
excuse me. But a part of it too is the area we're in. So, darker
Both,
skin
yeah.
was less preferred. So, and that's even by Black men. I was called a white girl because I'm educated and I
Mm,
come from a town of mostly white people.
yeah.
So I think for myself, as a teenager, I definitely would have, not saying I would go to like New London and pick up some friends, like nothing against y'all New London, but just saying like I'm not saying like I would have just like
Mhm,
went. I think more in my college years, I would have picked up a bigger friend circle rather than in my high school years,
Gotcha.
because I felt like
Okay.
even going to like your school,
Mhm.
I've come across more people that I felt like were of interesting and could have more similarities to me,
Yeah.
obviously, than in high school.
Well, yeah, and of course, and, I'm glad you did come to my school and stuff because you've gotten close with a lot of, like, my friends too.
Right.
So I think that has contributed at least to your.
Right. Yeah. So I think for myself that's one thing that I think that's a big thing for myself that I would change, just to be able, cuz like even my own sister, she can't fully relate with me because we're half siblings.
Right.
She's still half white.
Yeah.
So she's still like I don't have any friends that can say, "Yes, I have fully experienced," which I know everyone doesn't experience 100% of the same things because you're the
Right.
same color,
Yeah.
but to the same degree possibly,
Mhm.
maybe. But, it was just one of those where it's like, damn, like I don't have any true close girlfriends like that where I can
Yeah.
relate to them on that level. I've made friends after ish in like the work field,
Yeah.
but then we're hit with like a big age discrepancy.
Mhm.
And then that doesn't work out too well because then it's like, nah, like we really can't fully relate because
Yeah, just
like
different times of your life.
right, like you were just born in like 2004. Like I cannot relate with you that much.
Right, right.
you know? So it's just for me, if I could change something, I would not subtract. I would add to my friend circle. That's what I would do. So,
Well, I'm glad that you clarified that, although I never really had any doubt in my mind that, like,
mhm.
subtraction would be
Oh
a
my
thing.
gosh.
But
So over you.
but I totally get what you're saying, though. I mean,
Mhm.
I can't imagine, like, what that would feel like necessarily,
Mhm.
although, oddly enough, I'm kind of, like, in the
The same boat.
kind of, right? Because, like,
Kind of, yeah.
I can't really say that I have any, and I'm trying to think hard about this before I actually say it, just so I don't offend anybody, but I really don't think that I have any true, like, really good friends that are of my same race.
Mhm. Yeah, that like you talk to on the daily, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like to like our level.
right.
There's no one that meets that.
No,
Like just friends, but like not your best friend. Sure, maybe, but like as like a key core, like we
like,
better not
bestie,
go
yeah.
too many days without talking to each other, or I'm about to come find you and then smack the shit out of you because you stopped talking to me.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
there's like no friend that really is locked in that position.
Yeah. No. I mean, and, growing up and stuff, like, I might have had, like, a few friends, but, like, after,
Right.
so many years, like, it just kind of, like, faded off. They're not the ones who have, like,
Right.
truly, like, been there. So,
Mhm.
but it's also different though, right? Because for me, I guess I don't have guess I just don't really know how to say this. I don't
Oh
have, like,
gosh.
the same kind of, like, strong feelings behind it, I guess, as you do.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think also too a part of it is just because, I'm technically a minority. So I think that just also makes it a difference
yeah.
where um it just I don't know, the black culture is different. Like
Yeah.
it's just different, and there's just certain ways you connect with people, and like my man is that person, I guess I connect with in that way because, obviously he's black. So he just gets it. But it's like I can't be over here kikiing with him like he's my girlfriend.
Right. Yeah.
Like, all the time? Like, sometimes, yeah, of course, but, like, I can't do that with him all the time. Like, damn
Yeah.
it. Like, I can't just be like, "Girl," which I say "girl" to you anyway, so it don't matter, but you know what I mean? It's just
No, but
like,
it's different, I get
ugh,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
he can
and
just be filling a spot.
yeah.
He got his own position to play.
It's true, right? I mean, and, there was one that, like, you know, was kind
Nope.
of
No. Still, no.
but then that just, kind of, like, fell off and disappeared, so, I mean, I guess,
But still
you
didn't
know.
fully fit the quota, no. Nope. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Yep,
Um,
no. Mm-mm.
gotcha.
I can't stand you. Nice try though.
Ah,
Anywho, so we'll just switch to the next topic. But another big thing, which goes in, I would say, in the category of experiences. So
mm,
think about your experiences, right?
uh-oh.
Um, Studying abroad. I had an opportunity to study abroad
Mhm,
in college, and I did not take up the opportunity because
mhm,
it would have affected my job, possibly. I don't know because I never went to the depths of finding out,
gotcha.
but also because it cost more money than I had saved at the time, too.
Mm,
So I just fully canceled out that as an option. And if I were to go back,
mhm.
I would find a way and freaking figure it out.
Where were you supposed to go? What, place?
Spain.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like, just the fact of going out the country, I'll take it.
Right.
And, and it was just like, "Girl, what
Mm.
is wrong with you? What
Yeah.
figure it out. Get
No.
out. Go. Just go."
Yeah,
You
no, I
know?
can totally relate with that one too because I was actually supposed to study abroad too, but and one of my friends did go, and I didn't, and I do regret that decision. But also it was a financial issue, right? Because
Right.
my school college was already like expensive enough, and we
Yeah, it was.
couldn't afford to go. It
Like, we
just
got
is what it
choices.
is sometimes.
You gonna eat or
You
not?
know? And I definitely regret that because it was to go to China. And don't
Oh,
even
that's
ask me
dope.
because I don't even know, like, what class it was for or, like, how that came about into, like, whatever
I'm
anything
not
because I
surprised.
was not learning Chinese, y'all. But, it was some opportunity that we had, and I forget. Imma have to ask my friend and see if she knows. But anyways, so I do definitely regret that. I think about it all the time, even though she would just tell me,
Yeah.
like, how much she did not enjoy the food there,
Mm.
because it's not your American Chinese food, right? So,
Of course not. Yeah,
um,
no, totally different cuisine.
yeah, it's definitely
They
different out
don't
there, but
eat the stuff they feed us over here.
no, they definitely don't give us cats. Um, but yeah, so I can definitely relate with that because I share the
Yeah.
same sentiments with that.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's like a key thing to have in your life, just travel.
Mm,
I would have thrown in way more traveling if I could, just in general, because
yeah,
it's just being able to see, like, the world is large,
mhm,
and just being able to travel just puts things into even more perspective for you.
yeah,
And I feel like it develops you in a
mhm,
way. You just grow. You grow from traveling.
yeah,
So I just not that I feel like I've been stunted in my growth now, but I just would have looked forward to the opportunity. And also too, I would be so fluent in Spanish, I feel like. I would be much
probably,
more confident in my Spanish speaking.
yeah.
And I probably just be balling right now as an interpreter and just chilling. But your girl decided to not go to Spain.
Yeah,
So
life happens.
yeah, life happens. And you know what? I'm not saying this because I'm regretful as to where I am now
Mhm,
or wholeheartedly wish I was somewhere else.
yeah,
But I think it's just interesting to think about the things that I have passed up or could have done differently
right,
and where that would really land me today,
mhm,
you know? So it's just, I don't necessarily say that I wish I had those experiences instead of what I have now,
mhm.
but I would definitely have taken a different option for those experiences when they were proposed as opportunities.
Right. And it's just interesting too, right? Like, I think all the time, like, what if I didn't make this decision? Like, what would have
Mhm.
happened? Like, where would I
Yeah.
be today?
Yes.
And I don't know, stuff like
Yes.
that just really like throws my mind, right? Because like for me, for instance, if I never moved down to Virginia,
Mhm.
where would I be today? I don't think I would be working where I am working today if that didn't happen. Would I even
Right.
be working like in my field and like all this kind of stuff and whatever? So, even though
Yes.
you reflect and like look back to see like what things would you change,
Mhm.
I'm a true believer in, God's plan and whatever decisions that you did make back then led you to here for whatever reason and
Mhm.
it is what it is. But
Yeah. No, I like looking at it like that too, and it just shows us even more how much control we really have of our lives, and
mhm,
you know it's really what you make it. Like, it's so what you make it, and I know that's just such a cliche saying, but it's beyond true.
right.
And I think also too, what just brought this to mind for me is that I'm in such an in-between space right now, and I don't know if I should even be talking about this on the podcast, but I'm in such an in-between space with my job
Yeah,
where I don't know what I wanna do. I don't know if I wanna grow in the company. I don't know if I just wanna leave
right.
and just have a reset and start fresh elsewhere,
Mhm.
which I'm going to say I'm leaning very heavily towards. I want to leave and have a refresh and start elsewhere. I'm just going to be honest
Uh-oh.
and say that, because I don't know if you ever been in a point in your life where you just feel like you're just existing
Oh,
and,
yes.
like there's not joy that's coming in from anything. And I am so much more dreadful when it comes to working. And it's like, okay, I think it's time to make a change. And
Yeah.
I think it's time to change my industry.
Mhm.
And I would not go back and change any customer service job that I've had. I definitely won't change that because I know I am A1 at what I do. I'm the shit. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm the shit. I have great customer service. I does the damn thing, and I'm glad I've been able to hone in on that skill.
Mhm.
But now it's time for your girl to take a vacation from that skill
Right, right. Yeah.
and like retire out the game. Maybe come back out of retirement years later, like when my
Mhm.
child's old enough to do her own shit and I can just go ahead and do my own shit.
Yeah.
But right now, something's gotta go and it ain't gonna be me.
Oh god. Well, I would hope not.
But stress will do it to you. So I'm just saying, some
Yeah.
people would be stressed out enough, and I am looking to avoid that space. But um, yeah, I think it's just creating that story and being able to be 10 years from where I am today
Mhm.
and looking back. What I know 10 years from now, what would I have changed? Is this situation I'm in right now one of them?
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Woo, I
and I
just
don't
got
know.
deep on y'all.
Well, but I
Just
I
saying.
feel like that's harder though, right? Like, when you start thinking about, like, what decisions am I making today that, like, is gonna, like, project my, like, future and stuff. I feel like that is, like, 10 times more heavy than it is to look back and say, "You know what? I should have done this differently." So that
Right,
way,
because
like,
you already
maybe I
done
wouldn't
did
be.
it.
Exactly. So I think to sit here and think about, like, "Oh, well, damn, what decisions am I making now?" It's just gonna, like, change the course of my history and, like, I don't know. That is just, like, I think that's way too, deep for, like, the human mind to just kind of, like,
I don't think
comprehend.
so. I don't think so.
Mm.
But it can't be because what is it? I don't even know when they start talking to you about this in life, but what's your life going to look like in 3 years, in 5 years,
So
in 10 years, right?
yeah.
Yeah, my man is great for that one. I just want to share that. He's just like, oh, well, what's your 5 year plan? Bitch, I got a 5 year plan. I'm trying to make it to tomorrow. Damn. I know it sounds so
Uh,
terrible, but
mm,
no, it's just, it's one of those things that make you work well as a partnership, right? Because he
mhm.
can have that perspective where I'm
Right.
just like, just get me through right now, please. Just get me through. I'm just trying to make it to tomorrow with the kitchen clean and just like with rest,
Right,
but
right.
that's just what it is, it's not necessarily too deep, but it's realistic. We do have to look a little bit ahead.
We do,
I
yeah.
mean, we have retirement and stuff like that, maybe that we can look forward to.
Girl, I was just looking at that shit the other day. If you knew what year I was able to retire, it would blow your fucking mind. I am devastated by this.
Are you saying this so I can guess?
Go for it. I'm
Okay.
curious to see what you would. I asked my man to guess too, and he was 1 year off. I was like, "You're so fucking annoying." I was like,
Oh,
he
ew.
always, like, is, like, either right on point or, like, just so close.
Oh,
I'm just like, "It's
damn, I don't like that. I feel like competition with a good guesser now, and I just
uh-oh."
ugh, I don't even want to guess anymore. No, I'm just joking. Um, what year are we in? 2023?
Mhm.
They gonna tell you you can retire in like 2073.
Well, it's okay.
That was a
So
bit
it's not
excessive.
that drastic. Thank God.
Wait, let me get a second guess.
Okay.
2052.
You're even more fucking annoying than this one. God
I
damn
got it.
it.
Oh, I'm good. Hey y'all. Y'all heard
I
that, right?
can't.
So your girl is a good guesser. Yes, my first guess was far off, but I had to gauge the situation to see where I was supposed to guess.
Whatever. Damn
Damn,
it.
girl, you gonna be old as shit.
That's, like, another,
Ooh,
like, 30 years from now. Like, how
no,
awful is that?
literally. Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, just seeing, like, that number, I was like, "Oh, what am I gonna do for the
I
next
thought I was doing
30
something
years?
right.
What the hell?" Like, that is a lifetime. Shit, that is my
Yeah.
lifetime. The hell?
No, girl, your lifetime gonna be longer than that. You gonna enjoy that little bit of
Oh, well, I mean,
retirement.
like, from, like, the lifetime that, like, I've already been living on this earth,
I
like, that's a
know.
whole 'nother, like, what I've been doing, like, just
You gotta
multiply
do
that.
it double time. Yeah,
Like, and
double
I'm gonna
time.
be working double than what I've lived right now, like, I don't it just
Yeah, no, that's a lot.
I cried.
Let's just bring in my spiritual work and manifest
It is
a
awful,
sooner
and I
retirement
was
date because that's wild.
yeah, well, 'cause then I was talking to my other friend who is a cop, and she
Mhm.
retires fairly recently, and she was like, "Damn, girl, Imma be retired for 20 years by the time." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well,
That's
dang, go ahead and,
right.
like, rub it in, why don't you?"
That's right, because they can retire, like,
Super
with a short
early.
period of time,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
Damn. Lucky
So, if you
bitch.
guys wanna retire early, go into law enforcement. Just the way to
Good luck good luck staying alive, though, that's a little
well,
concerning.
I mean, that's why they let you retire early, right? The stress of the job and whatever, but
Stress of the job, you gotta make it there first, the fuck?
yeah, I don't know. That shit is wild, but I don't even know how we got here.
No, yeah, no, because we started looking 10 years down the road, all of a sudden we're 30 years down the road, I don't know how the hell we got there, Cassie.
Listen, you said a triggering word, and so I just had to share the news because this was a fairly recent update in my life, and so now y'all can just suffer with me.
Oh my gosh, I don't even look at it. I really don't.
It
I'm
was
just like,
awful.
"Oh, okay, I'm gonna retire when the fuck I'm ready. That's what I'm retiring."
Yeah, well, uh,
I'm so sorry.
I don't even know where to go from here.
Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, no, I just really didn't sorry, I'm just thinking, like,
Uh,
your
awful.
sadness makes me laugh. I'm sorry to laugh at your pain.
Whatever.
But
Like my mom.
no, yeah, it's just again, I just like to have moments of reflection because I think these things and I don't really say much to anybody about it,
Mm,
and I usually try to kind of pile it up a little bit and then wait to talk to you and then be like, "All right, I'm ready to talk to to somebody about it." And why not just broadcast it to everyone because, we all, I'm sure at some point, unless you're like Cassie and like to avoid the past, I'm sure we
avoid
all at
everything.
some or everything, including retirement, just think about just some things like, "Oh man, if I done this, where would I be today?"
Yeah.
Or just, "I have this awesome ass skill set today. How could I have benefited from that in my past?"
Mhm.
Because honestly, I would have been booming in business at a young age, my own business, not working for someone else, and then fuck retirement. My shit's all set.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's just kind of what that really was. But, I'm not going to drag it out. Cassie has a bedtime too, and for those of you watching, we just seen that big ass yawn, girl. Oh my
Why you just call me
gosh.
out like that? What the hell?
Oh
I
my
was trying to be,
gosh.
like, subtle with it, but, because we talk forever, we just
You
go past my
listen,
bedtime and,
this is what we do,
this girl's
and
tired.
just like I tell my daughter, you're gonna have to get used to mommy and her friends talking for a long time. I don't care if she's an infant and can't really fully understand what I'm saying. She's gonna have to learn and get adjusted to it. So,
Oh, boy.
girl, you need to be used to us
Girl,
by
I will
now.
never get used to this. That just will never happen.
Well, maybe when you become more fun and less serious, you'll be able to stay awake for a little bit longer. But
I don't think that's
we'll
ever gonna
see.
happen, but,
We never know. You
whatever.
never
Never say
know.
never.
Hey, it is what it is. But no, thank you for sharing that with us today though, because I know again, talking about the past isn't necessarily the easiest thing. And that specific time of your past is definitely a big thing.
Yeah.
So truly thank you for sharing that because I know I took you there. You may not probably have wanted to go there. So we
No, it's
appreciate
fine.
you.
I feel like it's just one of, like, the biggest things, like, in my life, and, like, I think about it a lot just because, I know I'm not any fun, and it kind of like, it's a bummer sometimes, but you know what? It is what it is, right?
I just pieced all of that together. You're not any fun. You are fun. You just have spurts of it rather than consistent. But anywho, y'all, how about y'all think about your lives and some adjustments that you may have made and with what you know today, right? So, not saying to be regretful of your past, definitely not saying
Yeah.
that at all, but it's just not a terrible thing to think back like, damn, because we can also take this information and share it to a young person of today, right?
Mhm.
Help someone else for, better results in their future or for maximized results. Not necessarily better, but to get the most.
Yeah.
So that's also too where this can be impactful. It's not only about ourselves, but also just sharing the knowledge that we have with others around us. So don't forget to do that. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up this lovely episode. Before we do, Miss Cassie, do we have anything else for our viewers and listeners today?
Um, nope, I don't think so. I was thinking about saying something stupid, but we're just gonna carry on with our lives, and Amanda just summed all of this up very lovely. And don't forget to make sure you guys follow us on all of our platforms. Thank you guys who listen and tune in with us every week. We love you. We appreciate you. You guys have us going 2+ years strong, and we couldn't be more
Woohoo.
excited about it. So just
Yes.
thank you. And unless there's anything else, we will talk to you guys next time.
Until next time, y'all.